The quiet out. Everyone thinks that scary things are loud. Screams, creaking floorboards, crashes. No. Real horror is completely soundless. It's insidious. Like dust. It just quietly settles into your life, into your home, and waits for you to notice it. It started for me last fall. I moved into an old apartment on the outskirts, inherited from my grandmother. A quiet neighborhood, a 9-story concrete building, perfect for a writer. I needed silence and I got it. In spades at first. Everything was normal. I worked nights, slept until afternoon, and always, exactly at 3 in the afternoon, I would wake up. Not from a sound, not from a jolt. I'd just open my eyes, and the numbers on the alarm clock would show 3 o'clock p.m. exactly. Day after day, I chalked it up to internal rhythms. My body had adjusted. Then I started noticing other coincidences. After waking, I'd go to the kitchen, put the kettle on, and the moment the boiling water began to hiss, I'd hear a very quiet, but distinct sound, as if in the hallway, right behind my back, someone took one single, small step. A creak of the parquet, barely audible. I'd turn around, no one. The cat slept on the windowsill. The door was closed. At first, I thought old building, pipes, neighbors. But the sound was too localized, not from the wall, but right here. I started listening more closely, and I realized this wasn't the only sound. At 3:05, when I sat down at the table with a cup of tea, a quiet, barely perceptible sigh would sound from somewhere in the corner of the room. Not human, too drawn out, too weary. At 3:10, a light tap of a single fingernail on glass, on the bedroom window. But I lived on the 9th floor. This repeated every day, at exactly the same time. Waking up, step, sigh, tap, like the ticking of a sick clock. I was going crazy. I checked the apartment for drafts, for rodents, for faulty wiring. Nothing. The neighbors upstairs were an elderly couple. Downstairs was an empty apartment. I started recording it. I turn on a voice recorder at 2:55 p.m. and leave it in the hallway on the tape. There was only quiet white noise. No steps, no sighs. Only my own heavy breathing as I listened to these signals live. And then it changed one day. At 3:05, instead of a sigh, I heard a whisper. So quiet I felt it on my skin more than heard it with my ears. Just 2 words. You're mine. A cold needle ran down my entire spine. This was no longer a ghost, no longer house noise. This was a dialogue. It was waiting for a response from me. I couldn't take it. The next day, at 2:50, I wasn't asleep. I was sitting in an armchair in the living room, facing the hallway. In my hands a heavy floor lamp, like a club. I decided to confront it, to look it in the face. The alarm clock rang 3 p.m. I froze, staring through the narrow crack of the slightly open door to the hallway. My heart pounded so hard I thought it was audible. 3:01, 3:02, 3:03, silence. 3:04, and then I understood my mistake. A terrible, idiotic mistake. I always woke up at 3. I was always in bed. But not today. I had broken the ritual. And it wasn't expecting that at 3:05. It wasn't a sigh that sounded. It was a sound that froze the blood in my veins. It was a quiet, confused whisper right behind my back, from the dark corner of the room where I wasn't looking. You. Where? It wasn't there, where I was looking. It was here, in the same room with me. And it was looking for me, because I wasn't in my place, in my bed. At the spot where it could observe me. I didn't turn around. I didn't breathe. A tear froze on my cheek, and then I heard movement. Slow, rustling, crawling. Not across the floor, up the wall, right above my armchair. It was rising up to survey the room. To find me. I couldn't take it anymore. I jumped up with a scream, hurled the lamp into that corner, and ran out of the apartment. I don't remember how I ended up on the street. I didn't go back. My things were moved out by an agency. I told them I was sick. Now I live in another city, in a new building where sounds don't linger, but I still wake up. exactly at 3 in the afternoon, and the first thing I do is open my eyes and look at the ceiling above the bed. I check because I am afraid of the day when I'll hear that whisper again. Only this time, it won't sound confused, but with cold, soundless satisfaction. There you are, and I won't be able to fool it anymore.